Andy, I have my first public speaking event coming up in August. It's for suicide and overdose awareness. So I'd like to do my absolute best. When you first started public speaking, what were some things you did to be at your best when you stepped on stage? Any tips or tricks of the trade?
Yeah, dude. Look, it's a skill. Okay. When I took public speaking in college, I got a D. All right. And the reason I got a D was because I said curse words in my fucking speech. I went off script. I wasn't polished. I was too raw. Okay. And I got a D for it. And I was told that I would never be, public speaking just isn't what you are.
Okay.
Yeah. So my main advice to anybody out there that wants to speak is to be authentically who you are. And that doesn't mean curse.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean, dude, let's be real. Cursing is a fucking art form. And some of you sound stupid. I probably sound stupid 30% of the time. 60% of the time, I'm amazing. 10% of the time, you can't touch it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, it's not made for everybody to do that. So when people hear authentically or be raw or be real, sometimes they hear like talk like me.
Right.
And that's not who you are. What I mean by that is like, be who you are. Like go out there, don't be afraid to be transparent with who you are. Like, I think the thing that's always helped me with my speaking is like, I don't ever go up there and talk to people from like my fucking ivory tower. Like I always make sure and let people know, like, dude, I'm fucking no different than any of you.
Right.
I'm just further along down the path. And I also think that the more you've accomplished and the more that your resume speaks for itself, the more your life speaks for itself, the easier it's going to be. A lot of people out there want to start public speaking before they've actually built anything, and they see that as the career. That's not the career, dude. Nobody wants to listen to someone who hasn't actually built anything. I see a lot of people out there trying to become speakers or become podcasters or become like known for like talking when they haven't really fucking built anything.
Right. What are you talking about?
And what you have to understand, like you may have some good things to offer, but when people look at you, they're going to say, well, what have you done? And that's for all of you. And no matter who you are, I was talking to a young guy who I know, who's trying to become a motivational type speaker. And he came to one of the Arte events and he's like, hey dude, what can I do to get better? And I'm like, bro, build shit, build shit. You're fucking 26 years old. Build shit.
Right.
Go build shit for the next 10 fucking years. Then talk about it.
Right.
Okay. And that's the thing. Like before I ever spoke, before I ever was asked to speak, I was like almost 14 years into business. I had built something. I had a $100 million business almost when I started fucking speaking.
Yeah.
And my track record speaks for itself. So like when people say, well, what's that guy done? Well, there's a long motherfucking list of shit I've done.
Yeah, no shit.
So that gives people a reason to listen to what I say. When you actually don't have that true track record of winning, what you say sounds like parroting other people who have done it.
Yeah.
And that's not the goal.
Right.
The goal isn't to be a speaker. The goal is to be someone who's built shit and then show people how you built it. And whenever you've built shit, your ability to speak, your ability to captivate an audience, your ability to get people to listen comes automatically because your credibility is there.
Right.
And there's a lot of people trying to put the fucking cart before the horse. And that's just a really hard path. And I know some guys who are quote unquote speakers and really haven't built anything. And even the ones who are the absolute fucking best of those guys are still not even close to the top level of speakers because they don't have the same credibility as the guys at the top.
Right.
So the guys at the top have amazing speaking ability and they have fucking real life success to back it up on a massive scale.
Yep.
And then there's this another level below that. And I'm talking about being the best in the world. Like, dude, that's what I talk about here.
Right.
Like, listen, one thing you're going to learn about me is everything I say, every piece of advice I get, it comes from a perspective of wanting to be the absolute best in the world. Now, if you want to just have a show or you want to just go speak at the groups and shit around your town, that's cool. You could do that. And that's a great thing to do because it allows you to have the practice and the reps to get your ability to speak. But you should also simultaneously be concentrating on building shit in a real way, because eventually you're going to get to be 35 years old, 40 years old, 45 years old, and that same spiel that's working for you now ain't going to work because people are going to say, well, what'd you do with your own shit?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
You get called out.
Yeah. And then like some of these dudes, like, and I started this way too. Like, bro, when I first started speaking, I was fucking fat. And I got away with it a little bit because I was successful financially.
Still had the credibility.
But it wasn't until I took my whole package and made it complete where I was financially successful in many different projects, not just one.
Right.
Okay. And by the way, that's not saying for you to go out and start 7 different things. We're talking 14 years into business here.
Right.
All right.
In one business. Yeah.
Correct. So, like, dude, but it wasn't until I galvanized my package to where I became fit and I put the mental investment into becoming mentally harder and all of these things, that everything then started to go much faster in an omnipresent direction where I was getting opportunity everywhere. And like now, I pick and choose.
Right.
So, like, dude, my tips, are to practice, take reps, but also build shit in real life, because in 10 years, you're going to want to be able to show that what the fuck you're talking about. And dude, while it may seem like everybody right now wants to talk about emotions and vulnerability and
feelings,
their trauma and this and that, I can promise you in 10 years, they're still going to want to talk about fucking money. They're still going to want to talk about balling. They're still going to want to talk about building amazing shit. And if you don't have amazing shit, the stories that you tell are not going to be as impactful. That's the truth. And when I say amazing shit, I don't mean like cars and shit. I'm just saying an amazing story of what you've done, like what you have to have built a real life. It's not just, hey man, I'm going to be a speaker.
Yeah.
Like that's not something to even aspire to. Why would you aspire to talk about things that you never actually experienced with your own fucking life? Right. Why would you aspire to teach things that you've never done? I don't understand why you would even do that. Yeah. The only reason I do what I do is because I feel obligated to share the lessons that I was blessed to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's important for people to learn these lessons so that they can go out and be successful. And then, that ripple effect will help build this culture back that we need.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man, like people think it's all this glorious shit. It's really not that fucking cool, bro. Like it's not that cool. Like it's not that cool to go to a fucking speaking event and like sit in a green room and like it's just people have this idea that it's some kind of like glorious thing. It's
no, a lot of times it's really fucking exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting. And honestly, dude, like I don't know how to say this, but honestly, like a lot of it's cheesy as fuck to me. Like I've been known to go on stage and be like, why the fuck are you guys even here?
Right.
You see me do it.
Yep.
Like why the fuck do you guys pay to come to this shit? And I kind of insult people, but I'm getting them to understand like, dude, this is not the shit that builds you. The shit that builds you is waking up every day and grinding it the fuck out.
Right. It's out there in the real world.
Yes, dude. And like, I appreciate you making investments, but you got, when you got all these coaches and all these people saying, oh, you'll spend money on fucking this, but you won't spend money on coaching. Like, bro, that's your sales pitch. Your sales pitch, that's a sales pitch from somebody who hasn't built a life that anybody wants.
Exactly.
When you built a life that everybody wants, and when you've built something that is mysterious to the point of like, holy shit, how the fuck did they do that? And it's amazing and it's crazy and it's like fucking, now people want to hear what the fuck you have to say, even if you're talking about farts.
That's real.
It's the fucking truth.
That's real.
Yeah. So you want to be a great speaker? Go build some shit that's so amazing that you could talk about anything you want and still get paid.
That's real.
I think that's about the best advice I can get.
Yeah, that's real.
Hey guys, do me a favor. If you enjoyed that clip, if it made you laugh, if it made you think, if it made you have a new perspective, go over to iTunes. Check out the full-length podcast. You're going to like it.